correlation to what actually happened with the market. In other words, why the market did what it did. You just happened to put on a trade at that time that worked. And all technical patterns do, technical indicators, I mean, price patterns, is get you into a situation where there's a likelihood that when you get into that trade, it'll work. That's all they were ever represented to be. Understand what I'm saying? That's all they were ever represented to be. I'm not saying they don't get, screwed up somehow in terms of the way people represent them, but that's all that basically they ever were. It's not on a trade by trade basis. Now we're going to get into the last part of it. We're heading down to the home stretch, guys. Heading down to the home stretch. Are we all right up to this point? As far as anybody have any questions about fear and confidence and the relationships that we're talking about? Now, what we're talking about is the fact that we've got it. We want to think like a pro so that we can experience the kind of results that the pros get, which are consistent. It means that we have to change our perspective from trade by trade to series of trades. Does anybody have any questions about that and why that's essential? So if you know that, why do we have to go to a series of trades perspective? Why? Hold on one second, sir.
Here, I don't know that in the series you'll be right more of the time. Emotional.
Why would you take? Give me specifically why you think there's no emotion.
That's more of a mathematical concept, not. I think it's going to do this. You're taking it's either going to be right or it's going to be wrong, and you either walk away or stay.
I want you to use the words expectations in your answer. Okay.
I don't have any expectations. It's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah. In other words, this particular trade, you don't know what you think something's going to happen, but you don't know what. When you put money in a slot machine and push the button, you think something's going to happen, but you don't know what. And if it comes out to be the jackpot, well, hey, that feels great. You're surprised, right? When I put on a trade, I feel the same way. Literally, I don't know. I just have to do what I need to do to make money on a consistent basis, which means I have to take every one of these trades. I can't pick and choose. The only reason why I pick and choose is because I think I'm right. So when you change your perspective from a trade by trade to a series of trades, it automatically manages your expectations in a positive way. I'm going to set this up for you as an exercise in a little bit, okay? But I just want to make sure we're anybody else have any questions about any of this? So you know, so in other words, what we're doing at this, what are we doing at this point then? So you know where you want to go, right? So do we know where we want to go? We want to get to a point where we are actually changing the way that we think. When you walked in here this morning, you didn't think like a pro, did you? Now you have some idea of what it means to think like a pro, right? Come on, yes or no? Come on, guys, give me some response. Okay. How are we going to get there? Now we might understand it. How are we going to get there? Well, in paper trading, yeah, sort of. But I'm not saying you just have the answers. I'm saying we got to have a way to get there, right? We have to have a series of steps to be able to get to this particular mindset. Because what we're really talking about here is we're talking about changing the way that we think. Now that can have some profound implications, right? No one seems to like to change the way that they think. Most traders have to go through the process. Remember this morning, the common thread between all traders who end up, being really successful is that they end up having to lose one or more fortunes, or what they defined as a fortune to get to that point. It's because the process of losing caused them to change the way that they think about trading. Now, do you want to do this the hard way or do you want to do it the easy way? Okay, I'm getting some response here. Good. The easy way, right. We want to do it the easy way. So this is what this is all about now. This is what the last part of the workshop is about. It's about doing it the easy way. What's that? Right, there you go. How do we change? Well, that's a good question, right? That's a real good one. How do we change? A lot of theories, a lot of techniques about it, a lot of theories on techniques. As far as I'm concerned, change is really a function of, well, you can break down to a series of steps, but really change is really a function of desire. When you get right down, remember how we took price movement and boiled it down and distilled it down to simply what? Price movement, all price movement is a function of what? Imbalance and conviction between buyers and sellers. All change is a function of desire. If the desire is there, we'll find a way to facilitate. It doesn't matter what. Honest to God, it won't go. I'll give you an example right here. Probably one of the most extreme examples I could come up with. You could, by the way, this what I'm going to read you right now, I got off of Yahoo. And you can go Google this kid and find out more about him yourself, okay? But as I read this to you, keep in mind how this kid accomplished this. Because the scientists that investigate this, they don't know. They can't figure it out. To me, it's easy. The kid's desire was so intense that he managed to find a way. This is Lincoln, Nebraska. Bryce Mellon is a whiz at video games such as Mortal Kombat. Is anybody familiar with Mortal Kombat? I'm not into video games, so well, not those video games anyway. Mortal Kombat, okay. Got some people. Is this a tough game? Yeah? Challenging, okay. In that regard, the 17-year-old, and he's a little older now, this is a couple of years ago. In that regard, the 17-year-old isn't much different from so many others his age, except for one thing. And as he easily dispatched foes who took him on recently at a Lincoln Gaming Center, the affable and smiling Bryce remained humble. I can't say that I'm a superhero.
All right, guys. Sorry that took so long. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, let's go ahead. Start with ACAD. So we are in the middle of this accumulation here, like we were last night. Same thing. It didn't break this high, so won't be setting any limits. Just gonna be waiting on a schematic. If we can get a sign of strength here, then that would confirm our STMD. So just gonna be kind of keeping my eye on this. Hey chef. So I've got a limit off this this redistribution here. But it looks like it made a new low again. So we'll see what happens. I'll just keep my eye on it. I won't set it yet. See how it, if it's able to walk price up slowly. So I was anticipating an accumulation here. We did get somewhat, yeah, it was an accumulation. So we got our sudden climax, automatic rally, second test, upthrust action, STB, and then our sign of strength. And so it's retracing down right now. So it's approaching that 50%. If we do get a schematic in that area, then I'll probably just be trading off of that. But we'll see how that goes. AN, same thing, we got an accumulation in here. We're gonna be taking the 80%. It's about a 9 pip stop of this drive down here. This is a type 5. So I'm gonna be taking the second test drive. CAD Chef. An accumulation here. So I'm looking at it like this. So this is our sudden climax. We did get a fractal accumulation in there. Automatic rally, second test, STB, and then we got a sign of strength. So looking at this 80% here of this last drive before we got that sign of strength, looking at about a 10 pip stop. So I'm just gonna watch how it approaches our entry and see if we can get some compression. CAD JPY. Same thing, we got a type 4 accumulation here. Gonna be taking the 80% of that spring. Like 11 to 12 pip stop. Just gonna same thing, gonna be watching how it comes down. If it can compress, then I'll be setting that. Chef Jappy. So this was a limit that I had set way back here. It never got tapped in. But as you can see, it tapped in yesterday. And it's been taking off. So we'll see if this can make a new high. EA, I'm looking to play off this reaccumulation here. This isn't the shakeout, but this is the last drive before we got our drive up. So I'm gonna be looking at that 80% there, but that's a 17 pip stop about. So gonna be waiting on a schematic here, and it looks like we did get an accumulation here. So if it does make a new high, that's why. Tapped into the 50%. ECAD, so it looks like it's accumulating altogether. So didn't really get a schematic in there that I really like. So if we do get a drive down and a nice fractal schematic in there on like the 5 minute or something, then I might be willing to play it. So Euro Chef. We're coming down to a daily POI, and I found a fractal schematic in there somewhere. Not gonna go back to it, but I'm hoping for an accumulation here, and it looks like it's accumulating above it, but hopefully we can get like a STMB and then a spring tap us in. That'd be nice. EG. So just following order flow on the 4 hour. Got our low before it, and then our high holding bearish structure. Our retracement is well past 50%, and it looks like we did get a schematic up here. So just playing this last drive here. It's an 11 pip stop, just covering that wick. So I'm covering the high. It's about 18. So I'll probably just be watching for this this stop loss right here. I mean this entry right here. And then I'll be setting that as my stop. EU, so it looks like we redistributed here. Just looking at this shakeout, I'll be anticipating a distribution maybe in here, but it looks like it's still pushing down, so we'll just be waiting on that retracement. GJ, same thing. So we got this reaccumulation here. So I'll just be waiting for a schematic in this drive down here somewhere, probably the 50 or the 80%, but it does look like it might be accumulating now. There's nothing for it to really be playing off, so not too sure. Not too confident in trying to buy off of this. GN. I'm looking for price to come up a little bit higher and distribute somewhere in this distribution here. This did come up, and I think it gave like a 1 minute or 5 minute schematic, but I want to see it come up a little bit higher. GU. So price can come all the way up here and distribute, but for now I'll just be looking down in this area. This area for a distribution. But that's about it for GU. And CAD. So I did enter this morning, and I pulled out about like here. Looks like it's about to get stopped out right now. But that was playing off of this shakeout here. So it looks like this is going to be a complete distribution. If we can get a sign of weakness, then I'll just be looking up here for another schematic. NZD Chef. We did get a somewhat of a schematic in here, and we did break order flow. I did want to see this come a little bit lower, but it might be accumulating right now. That low. Yeah, so if we're able to complete this accumulation, get a sign of strength, then then I'll obviously be playing off of this. But until then, I'm anticipating this to come a little bit lower. And you. So it looks like this came up and distributed right about where we wanted it to. And we did catch something off this schematic here. Looks like it's about 1 to 14 right now, but this was I think like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, right before Halloween. But yeah, just gonna be looking up in this area now for a distribution. So I'm gonna be waiting on a retracement here. UCAD. So it looks like we reaccumulated. We got a nice shakeout here. See what this 80% is talking about. $15 pips. Looking at a 7.46 to 1. That's not too bad. So if this comes down and gives us some compression, I'll be setting this probably in the morning. Chef. So we had this limit set. It came down. We got our shakeout in our reaccumulation here, and it didn't quite make it down to our entry. Made a new high, so now we'll just be looking probably in here, this last drive down before our impulse up, for a schematic. UJ. If we can get a distribution kind of about right where we're at, actually. Yeah, we can get a distribution. Right about where price is at right now. Looks like it might be starting to, so we'll see how this we did get one right here for sure, but we'll see how this entire thing plays out. But yeah, so that's all I got. Y'all don't got any questions or any charts you want me to look at? I'll be calling it a night. Any crypto? To be honest, no. I'm just really locked in on my challenge right now. But is there anything you want me to look at? Appreciate you, Reddy. Surely. All right, then. Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed. Peace out.